Greetings, beautiful people. Hello, peace, love, and light. So, this should be a really quick video. I need to do this video. We need to understand that people's actions validate their words. So I'm going to say it again. People's actions validate their words. So I often have to remind people when they loosely use the words, the three words that we all love to hear, which is I love you. I often have to remind people that love is an action. It's not just, a word that you use to make someone feel googly and bubbly inside. Excuse me. It's not just a word that you use to just appease someone. It is not a word that you just use loosely. It should have actions behind it that validate the word. If you love someone, then there are certain things that you are going to do to show them that you love them, to validate the words, I love you. So it's just not a blanketed statement that you just use all willy-nilly like a lot of people often do. They're powerful words when they're used correctly and when they have the correct actions behind them. And so I have always been a very observant person. I have always been a quiet soul, very much so an introvert. I do a lot of introspection. I have never had like a big entourage of people around me. I'm very selective about who I let in, and sometimes, and I take inventory. I may let some people in at one point in my life, and then once I get to another point in my life, I realize that those people really have no place because I have grown and they have not. And so we no longer have things in common, but still no love lost. There are people that I don't necessarily consider my friend, but they are still my brother, they are still my sister. And although we don't hang out every single day or talk any longer, or hang out at all rather, just because we're on two different paths, doesn't mean that if they need something and I can help them, that I will not help them. That doesn't mean that. That's not the spirit that I roll in at all. We always have to be looking out for one another. It doesn't always have to be your best of friend, or someone that you are very close to. We are still all very much connected, and we're going to have deeper connections with some people than we have with others. And some people you just may not really have a connection with at all, but just know that we are still connected. We're still brothers and we're still sisters. And so I've always been very observant. I watch people. I people watch all the time, just in general, but I watch people and their behaviors and how they first treat themselves, and then I watch how they treat others around them, may it be their children, whether it be their children or their parents or their siblings, those that they deem close to be close to them. I watch how they treat them and how they interact with them. I watch how they treat others and how they interact with others in general. And then I make a decision as to whether I want to have a deeper connection with them, and build and grow a friendship. And so that is just the way that I have always been. And again, like I said, I do take inventory. And so some years may pass and I realize, okay, well, we're on two different paths right now. And, you know, that person may not serve a purpose any longer in my life. And it's time for us to part ways. Some people are only in your life for a season. Just for a season and for a particular reason. Nothing happens just because or by happenstance. It doesn't. It's just not the way the universe works. And now I understand that. And so I tell you, be very, very careful about the people that you let into your life. And make sure that those people around you that claim that they love you so much, and you know they're there for you and they're there to support you, and just make sure that they have really put action behind those words and behind those statements. Really take inventory and say, well, have they really shown me that they love me? When I've called them, the majority of the time, have they picked up the phone? And in times where they couldn't pick up the phone, did they later on see about me? Do they see about me? You know, if I needed something, do I know if they had it that they would give it to me if I needed it? You know, if I needed support in any way, whether it be for a business or whatever it may be, do I know that they will show up? Do I know that? Or am I just hoping and believing that they will because they said it? And what good does that do? It's like, you know, like the saying, faith without works is dead. Why? You can't just believe and there be no action behind it. Energy, vibration, and frequency. Energy, vibration, frequency. That's how things manifest. So I can't just simply say, well, you know, he or she said they love me, so I believe them because they said it. But whenever I've ever needed them, they weren't there for me. You know, I have found, even, you know, with my business, I've, you know, recently started my business, Ivrit Royalty brand. And I asked people to do something very simple. And that was just like my business page. Like Ivrit Royalty on IG, on Facebook. And I have all these people around me, and they're, you know, when they see me, oh, they love me so much, and huggy and kissy and all of this, and they were so proud of me. But when it came time for them to do one simple task, was to hit one simple button on a page, they didn't do it. They just chose not to do it. It wasn't complex at all. They just chose not to do it. And so I had to sit back and ponder on that. And I came to the conclusion that these people really don't love me. I'm sure they think they do, but they do not. It's the same thing as the abuser who beats the hell out of their partner, their, you know, girlfriend or boyfriend, a husband, wife, because it can go both ways. And immediately after, they say, baby, I love you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I love you. I love you. And then a day, sometimes in the same day, maybe a day later, but soon after, they're going upside your head again. And then they say, what? I love you. Baby, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. You know I didn't mean it. You know I love you. You know I love you. I do? How do I know that you love me? For your actions are quite contrary. Your actions say that you don't indeed love me. Your actions say that you hate me. Because you beat me, you abuse me, and you hurt me, and you use me. You demean me, you put me down, and every chance you don't lift me up. You don't surround me in peace, love, and light. You don't fill me up with it. So how am I supposed to believe that you love me? Let people's behavior and actions be the deciding factor on whether or not they truly do love and care for you. That's the message. Take inventory. Not everyone, I don't care if they are, family members, whether they are friends that you've grown up with. That doesn't necessarily give them an automatic place in your life and in your energy field. It does not. It does not. And one thing I have been doing lately, and I tell you, through my spiritual awakening, my true spiritual awakening, and really knowing who I am now, and I tell you guys, I get emotional about it because it's been such a blessing for me. I am such a, I tell you, because I've been such an introvert most of my life, and I do a lot of, I'm very introspective, and I do a lot of self-examination always. I'm always examining because I always want to be better, and I always want to make sure that people remember how I treated them and that I treated them well. And even if that meant that I ended a relationship with them, whether it be a friendship or what have you, a business partnership, but I did it in a way, that was loving, that was respectful, and still also made sure that they knew, if you need me, if you need something that I have and that I can give it to you, I will indeed do that. Just because, we're no longer in business or in a friendship, it doesn't mean that I can't show up for you as your sister. It doesn't. It doesn't. And I've never ever been that way. And I think it's very important that we all do a great deal of self-examination. And getting back to my point, this spiritual awakening, just truly realizing who I am in my essence. Of course, that I am a spirit. My spirit is an energy that powers my body, the avatar, and that everything is about energy, period. It's about it. Energy, vibration, frequency. Everything on this planet vibrates. Everything. And you have to understand. You have to understand that. You have to. And because now I understand that, I know how I need to operate, and I know how careful I need to be about who I have around me and who I'm exchanging energies with. Sometimes, of course, you're out in public, you just can't help it. You out, in passing, but you still, you can protect yourself. But when you decide to bring someone in your personal space, they can have a profound effect on you. It can either be positive or negative, and I'm very careful about that. And one thing that this spiritual awakening has helped me do is eradicate fear. I never want to hurt people's feelings. and like I said, I spend a lot of time with myself and do a lot of introspection. So I try to be very, very careful, you know, about how I interact with people. And in particular, you know, my brothers and my sisters, it matters to me, you know, that they know that, you know, that they feel loved and that they feel respected. And so I get concerned, you know, when I used to get concerned when it was time for me to part ways from people. I used to get concerned about how they would feel about me, you know, oh, and now they don't like me, and that used to bother me. Excuse me, I turn the air on. It used to bother me so much, but now that fear is gone. That fear has dissipated. If I have ended a relationship in a positive and respectful way, then that is good enough. If I was respectful about it, if I did it in a loving way, then that's good enough. And knowing and finding comfort in, no one has a right to have a permanent placement in my life if I feel that your purpose in my life is not helping me to be a better person. If it's not bringing me peace, love, and light. If it's not helping to elevate me to my next level. There are just some people that are happy where they are, that they've become very complacent, that they don't want very much. And when I say that, meaning they are happy in their low place, in a very low place. And I don't want to be in a low place. We've spent too much time as a people in a low estate. It is time for us to ascend. It is time for us to rise. But not everybody wants to rise. And I used to get upset about that, but I don't anymore. If they don't, then that's fine. Peace, love, and light to them if they're happy there. But I'm not happy there, and I don't want to exchange energies with someone who's on a totally different path than I am, because that's counterproductive. And I've had to leave some people behind, but it doesn't mean that I am angry at all, because I'm not. It just means that you no longer serve a purpose in my life. But if you needed me and I could be there for you, I would absolutely do so. If you needed something and I had it to give, I would absolutely give it. Because you're still my brother and you're still my sister. So the message is, be careful about who you have in your space, because not everyone who says they love you truly love you. If the actions don't match the words, you need to take inventory. You need to take some inventory. You need to take some time to ponder and decipher whether this person is serving a purpose in your life. A purpose that's going to help you be better. But it is indeed your life. And so that is my message. That is something that I always do. You know, and you have to eradicate fear. You can't allow, you know, the emotions of, oh, well, they won't like me anymore, and, you know, I don't want to cause any like tension, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so I'll just deal with it at the expense of hurting myself. No, beloved. There is absolutely nothing wrong with parting ways and ending relationships with people that no longer serve a positive purpose in your life. And not every relationship is meant to be positive. Sometimes it's negative. There's a lesson in that. And if you have gotten the lesson, get the lesson and then move on. But I'm talking about, I've had people in my life that were just there. They were simply just there. They knew me from growing up, or at some point our paths had crossed, and they were just there. I could not depend on them for anything. I couldn't call them for anything. I would call them, they wouldn't answer the phone. You know, I would ask them, hey, come out and support, and they wouldn't do it. But meanwhile, oh sis, I'm so happy for you. No, you're not. No, you're not. Your actions tell me quite the contrary. So be careful, beloved, about who you allow in your space and who you exchange energy with. Take inventory. Not everyone, no one, you know, is obligated to be a permanent fixture in your life. No one. If they are not bringing you peace, love, and light, knowledge, wisdom, if they're not helping you to be better, you know, you might want to reconsider why they're there. Peace, love, and light. Beautiful, beautiful people. I will talk to you again soon. Mwah.